Yeah, a lot of those chefs grow up from the time they're like 14. They are working on ships. That's all they know.
Yeah.
Luke knows this story. I remember sitting in meetings with all the executive chefs from all the ships, and I was the only woman there. And I remember a guy reaching over and covering my mouth, basically saying, "Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about."
Wow.
I know. This was before MeToo. I was like, okay. I mean,
You're like, whatever.
I've always tried to approach this industry with a sense of humor. I've never been like, and I mean, I was cooking, usually the only woman,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, I never really cared about the language or the jokes or any of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like if I've proved myself, I'm not saying I'm one of the guys, but we're all working shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
You got to be very flexible, and you got to have a sense of humor. You can't take yourself too seriously. Or you're really going to be a miserable person anyway.
The best kitchens, I was just going to say, the best kitchens, and the best teams in those kitchens. I mean, it's very communal, right? You become close. And when you're working with family, you don't hold any punches back either. And I think, not to say that what those chefs were doing to you was okay, because obviously that was not.
Yeah. And a lot of it is cultural.
Right. But, I don't know, the things that I would say to like my brothers compared to the things that I would say to, other people that maybe I'm working with, probably two very different things. Right. And
oh, sure.
You kind of cut through the bullshit really quickly that way, which is good. I love that about a kitchen.
Well, that was one of the reasons, I wanted to be in the kitchens because, number one, I like working with my hands anyway, but I like the camaraderie. That's what makes it. And I mean, I can honestly say, and I know I'm talking about days when Luke and I worked together, I was usually the one with the offensive jokes. Luke was always very careful to be respectful and not say anything inappropriate. And more than one occasion, he's corrected me, right?
See, I had that happen with me. I was a chef for Snooze for a while, and one day I'm working Expo, and I look up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a full female kitchen. Every station I have is female, and they did not hold back on me at all. And I was like, you guys are more like, and I'm an absurd person, absurd.
Yeah,
and things they would say to me, I was like,
oh yeah.
Do you kiss your mom with that mouth?
I know. Absolutely. Absolutely.